Process choice. This is the first of 7 videos on the topic of process choice. We begin by looking at the generic process of ice cream production. Look at this picture. The raw materials which are used to make ice cream, such as milk, cream, sugar, and so on, are first fed into the stage known as blending. After this, they go through pasteurizing, then homogenizing, then cooling or resting, flavoring, freezing, adding ingredients, packaging or bundling, and finally hardening before they are available as finished goods, the ice cream that we buy in the retail store. So you can see that even a simple product such as the ice cream goes through so many different stages. So formally speaking, a process is defined as a series of actions or steps taken in order to achieve a particular end. All operations and supply chain management is essentially about the study and design implementation of processes. Now, typically, processes are classified into 5 types. The project type of process, then we have the job shop process, the batch process, the line flow process, and the continuous flow process. Now, these 5 types of processes are depicted on a spectrum. This is called the process choice spectrum. At the far left end of the spectrum is the project, then the job shop, then the batch process, then the line flow, and finally the continuous flow process. So why is this spectrum used to depict them? It's because as we go from one end of the spectrum, the far left to the far right end of the spectrum, these processes differ from each other on multiple dimensions. For example, the dimension of customization versus standardization. In the project type of process, the product or service that's offered is highly customized. Typically, it's suited to it's delivered or made for the customer, depending on the customer's requirement. Whereas in the continuous flow type of process, the product is highly standardized. Similarly, in terms of the volume of a particular product produced, in the project type, typically the volume is either exactly equal to 1 or very low. Whereas in continuous flow, it's all about very high volumes. Finally, let's say capital investment. Capital investment is typically very low in a project type of process, whereas in comparison to a continuous flow where it is relatively much higher. So like this, there are many other dimensions on which the process types vary from each other. As you go from the left to the right, either they increase in that dimension or decrease in that dimension. And we will see that as we go down and see later videos in this series. So with this introduction, we will now close this video. We will look at each of these processes in detail in the subsequent videos. Thank you.